Airbnb public relations team just reached out to me a couple weeks ago and they're like, Janelle, congrats. Your Airbnb is the #1 most wish listed Airbnb in the entire state of Mississippi. And then if you
That's
look in
dope.
AirDNA, which is a tool that short-term rental investors use to look at, revenue potential and revenue of different properties and listings, we don't have the full revenue up because it's not a full year, but I know what our revenue is. And we are the #1 3-bedroom, 2-bath property in that entire 62 miles of coastline. And so I just feel really passionate about spreading this message that anyone can do this. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a genius. And also I did not figure this all out on my own. I'm not some sort of genius that just figured this all out. I got myself in the right rooms with people that were doing this and took what I learned, put it into action and put my own spin on it. And so, yeah, really excited to kind of talk about how to find a profitable market, how to launch a profitable short-term rental in today's market where people are like, oh, interest rates are too high and home prices are high and it's so competitive and it's so saturated and there's regulation. Yes, all of that is true, but there is still a lot of opportunity for short-term rental investors out there.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Quentin Edmonds. And normally I say I'm excited, and I am excited. I'm a little intimidated too, right? My guest, she is sharp. Listen, y'all, she's sharp. I feel like she's trying to take my job. I feel like she could probably do what I do better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna stay in my ground, though. I'm gonna stay in my ground, and I'm gonna do what I do. But I am so excited about my guest. Listen, you guys are going to find great value in what she's saying. You're going to be able to look at things from her unique lens. I am so happy to have with me today is Janel Gallucci. How are you, my dear?
Doing great, Quentin. Thanks so much for having me. I'm pumped for the convo as well. Let's roll.
Me too. Absolutely. Listen, normally I tell them what you all involved in and the different niche in your space. I ain't going to do none of that because I'm going to let you do it yourself because you're going to do it better than I can do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do it better than me anyway. But I am so excited. And listen, I know our listeners are going to take something away from your approach and your lens. I know they're going to find value in what you had to offer. And so if you don't mind this, I want to dive right in. Bring people into your world, right? They're getting to know you for the first time. They want to know what you do. So tell us what's your main focus these days. And if you don't mind, tell us what markets you're operating in as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, everyone, my name is Janel Gallucci. I am a short-term rental owner, investor, and educator. I'm currently based in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, on the Nevada side of the lake. The markets I operate in, I own and operate short-term rentals here in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, as well as on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi. A really, really fun market. And I got into real estate and short-term rentals in 2019. I kind of fell into it. We were living in the San Francisco Bay Area, working full-time corporate to 9 to 5 grind kind of jobs. And we were weekend warriors. You know, anyone that lives in San Francisco knows that Lake Tahoe is just a couple hours away. It's a great weekend getaway. And we were coming up here a ton and we're like, it'd be pretty cool if we could buy a property and maybe we could put it on Airbnb and rent it all summer and winter and maybe make enough money to just cover our expenses. And then we would have a free place to stay in the off seasons. And so that's how this whole thing got started. Flash forward to today. I now see, and I'm on this journey myself of retiring myself fully through short-term rentals. So that dream has really evolved from let's just buy something and break even and have this cool property to like, wow, there's actually a lot of profit opportunity in short-term rentals when they're done right, and a lot of opportunity to scale your portfolio, retire yourself, and get the time and financial freedom that, most all of us are getting after. So yeah, that's me.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Absolutely. One thing I love about you, after I asked you a question, one of the immediate things that you said is that you guys are all about building trust and earning credibility, right? It's just not about, like, you're doing this for the right reason. You want the perfect clientele. You're not trying to sell. You're not trying to push. You like, listen, I want you to know that I will bring you value, and you're going to bring me value because you are the person that I want. Like, this is like a match made in heaven. So I want you to talk more about that building trust, because I love when you said that.
Yeah. Well, I think what makes me different in what I do with my business partner, Han and Kim, we do run a short-term rental mentorship together, but we really try to lead by doing. I think there's a lot of educators out there in the real estate space. And if you actually look at their numbers, like, they're making more money through their coaching and educating than they are through their real estate. And with us, like, we lead with our real estate, we lead with our short-term rental portfolios. And we happen to have a group of folks that we meet with every week, and we mentor them through building their own portfolios with short-term rentals and retiring themselves. And so, for me, since we're here to talk about me and my story, what I really wanted to talk about today is I recently launched a property. So we had our one property in 2019, and for years, kind of just broke even until I started getting serious and implemented a lot of strategies, started becoming profitable. And then I was like, wow, I think I figured out how to scale this thing. I got in touch with the right lenders and figured out how to analyze the right markets and properties, landed on, this property down on the ocean in the Gulf Coast. And I was like, we're going to be number one. I'm going to launch the number one property in this market. And so there was a whole blueprint that I followed. And now that property launched in October of 2024. So we're not even 1 year in.
Absolutely. No, and that kind of brings me to where I want to go next, because it's not easy in this climate. It's not easy. A lot is going on. It's not easy to stay true to your core sometimes, like not to get greedy, not to try to, go too big, to kind of stay right where you need to be. So I guess my question is, what's been the key to you keeping that machine running smoothly, for you to keeping your principles intact and stay in this, as smooth as possible, right? Stay in the course that you're on. What's been the key to that?
Yeah, well, I'd say, there's a couple of things when it comes to actually running, operating, acquiring short-term rental properties and scaling them and, getting the time and financial freedom through it that we're all after. Kind of break it down to 10 steps, right? So I'm going to walk through those real quick, right? So the first one I think that a lot of people miss, and it kind of leads them astray from the beginning, is they don't define who they're actually serving. Now, a short-term rental is very different than a long-term rental. It's very different than multifamily. It's not a house for sale on Zillow. It's an experience. You're actually selling and advertising and marketing an experience. And so how do we do that effectively? We have to first define who we're going after. We call that our ideal guest avatar. And so I see that this is a thing that a lot of short-term rental hosts that are struggling miss, is they're kind of trying to be everything to everyone, right? So got to be laser focused on who you're serving. And that constantly brings you back when you're thinking about, let me make this investment in my property, or let me do this, or let me add this, like throwing amenity spaghetti at the wall, where we actually we want to create one specific thing for one specific type of person. And a lot of people say, well, I'm scared to go niche. Well, there's riches in the niches, so to say, right? So we want to make sure that we're really honing in on who we're serving to keep our short-term rental business on track, right? So that's something. I think the other thing is when we go to add amenities, like I said, a lot of folks will throw amenity spaghetti at the wall. We're in like an amenities arms race in the Airbnb space, where it's like,
if you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet, for real estate investors and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I'm going to buy this property. Let me slap a hot tub and a sauna and a mural on it, and it's going to be great. And listen, those amenities can be really great, but it doesn't make sense to have, I have this property. This is where this caught me off guard. I had this property, years ago that I was trying to be everyone, everything to everyone. But in reality, I served a lot of families with young kids. I remember talking to a fellow investor and I was like, I'm thinking, I think I want to add a sauna. And they were like, well, let's look at the numbers. And we broke it down. And it's actually a really cool playground and play area for kids on the property would actually attract more of my ideal guests and more revenue for me than some of these other amenities. So I think being really strategic in what your amenities are key. And then the whole other piece of this is that it's not just about creating a unique experience and having amenities that are really specific, but you have to be able to articulate that really effectively in your listing. And what is the main way we do that through short-term rentals? It's photography. And so I think that's another area where a lot of folks miss is they will hire, again, a regular real estate photographer. Nothing wrong with them, but their job is to sell a home, is to sell a space for sale on Zillow. And a short-term rental is very different than that. This is an experience. This is a vacation. This is a place where your guests are going to come and make memories. And so making sure that you are investing in the right photography, short-term rental specific photography, so key. So I think those are three things. Those are three parts of our blueprint to, success with short-term rentals that I think a lot of people miss.
Gotcha. And I love how you didn't get all 10. You was like, I got 10. I'll give you 3 though. See, I told y'all. I told y'all she's sharp. I told y'all.
We only got 20 minutes, so I don't want to talk on and on. But
she ain't that. This is what I'm saying. I told y'all. Listen, I appreciate it, but no, that's great. Again, I love your lens. I love your perspective. Yeah, this is refreshing. I love it. So, okay. So let me ask you this, right? So, of course, there's a moment when things get real, right? There's times when things go sideways. There's a time when you had to, pivot fast, probably. And so, Ms. Janelle, you mind sharing one of those times when you kind of had to think on your toes when things didn't go the way you expected and you had to pivot?
Yeah, well, I think when we first got into short-term rental investing, the goal was just to cover expenses and break even. And eventually that started to really be a challenge. I'm spending time here. I should be making money on this investment. And so I know that was a time where I really had to pivot and get myself in the right room and start learning what strategies I could utilize to be able to actually pivot and make this profitable instead of just this side hobby. I think that's actually something that a lot of hosts that I talk to struggle with is we maybe fall into short-term rentals or we don't quite know what we're doing when we get into it. And who doesn't want an Airbnb, right? I talk to a lot of people who are like, I love Miami and Maui and Vail. I'd love to own a property in each of those markets. And it's like, well, is the goal to make money or is it to just live this lifestyle? Because you could probably invest much less money in other markets, make a lot more profit, and just pay for your own vacations in those markets, right? Those are very tough markets to get into. So, and that is another challenge happening in the short-term rental space right now is just regulation. It's becoming harder and harder to navigate regulation. And so I'm in this process right now. I own 2 short-term rentals. I'm on a trajectory of trying to buy 1 per year so that we can retire ourselves fully from our work. And so that's something that I had to pivot this week. I was looking in this particular market. I was dead set on it. We looked at a bunch of properties. The numbers were looking good. Well, then I called the county and they're like, yeah, they were super not friendly to short-term rentals. And they're like, we're actually trying to cap them or ban them. And there's all these septic requirements we're going to be adding. And so it's like, oh, well, going to have to pivot. So I feel like any successful real estate investor, we're always pivoting. But those are kind of couple pivots that come to mind for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. And I'm going to ask this question just to put it out there because I heard you mention trying to buy 1 property a year so you can retire. Listen, and I see it. Your 10-step process got you focused. You know who your ideal client is. You're not throwing amenities, spaghetti, which I've never heard, which is so dope.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I'm telling you, like, it's just so, that's just, I love your play on words, but I do just I want to put this question right in your face. You may have already answered it, but then I still want to, put it out there. What are you most focused on solving or like scaling next? Like, what's the next real goal, Miss Janelle?
Well, my husband and I both did leave our 9-to-5 jobs back in 2020, 2021. And we do the same type of work as consultants. So we work hourly and it's cool. We get to, you're in a much better tax situation when you're self-employed. You get to control your hours. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, we're still trading time for money. If we don't show up and work those hours, like we want to go on vacation or take a day off, like that is impacting your income versus our short-term rental portfolio. On the flip side, I woke up this morning, I had 2 bookings. Like literally I made money in my sleep. And yes, was it hard work to find those properties, buy them, set them up? Yes, but it's like this one-time investment that you're able to keep reaping the rewards from. And so that's sort of our primary goal. And inside the mentorship that we run, that is a lot of the goals of the folks we work with as well, is like, how do we get ourselves out of this and stop trading time for money and have more of that time and financial freedom that we want? Most people, I don't have kids yet, but I know when I want to have kids, I want to be able to spend that time with my family. And when I think about how I was working that corporate 9-to-5 and commuting 2 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, it's like, I don't know how people do it. That's not the dynamic that I want. And so that's our focus right now, at least for me and my husband. And then inside of the mentorship that I run with my business partner, we're trying to help other folks get on that same trajectory, and it's interesting because I know when I first got into this, I'm like, how are people buying properties every year? Like, I literally don't understand, like, especially once you leave your corporate job and maybe you are self-employed, financing and lending becomes harder. And the truth is there are a lot of strategies out there that most people don't know about. There's all sorts of different loan types out there, DSCR loans, there's a ton of different strategies out there. And so, yeah, that's what we're just focused on right now is, looking for that next property, staying on the trajectory and, a lot of different creative ways to finance it since we are, self-employed now, but that's our primary focus. We're trying to stay on that track, one a year, add one to the portfolio a year. And again, inspire others to keep doing the same along the way.
Yeah. Now, I love it. It's like, you and your husband, y'all make the jump, but also, we're going to pull people along with us, right? Like we will trail the blaze so people can find the path, right? So y'all can be trailblazers so people can come behind you and be pathfinders, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And,
Yeah.
and I face enough adversity to know that the next move, it can either compound things or it can create total chaos depending on how you play it, right? And so I love it.
There's always a little chaos. I forgot to mention, when we closed on that property last year, it launched in August. We closed 30 days before our wedding on a property in a state we had never been to. We never saw the property. We bought it we had inspections, never saw it. And we spent 3 weeks renovating it. And then right when we were about to fly home, there was a hurricane that hit the coast and a wildfire in Lake Tahoe. And we're like, we have 125 people coming to Tahoe for our wedding. Are we going to make it? Sure enough, finish the renovation, hurricane pass, wildfires put out, we fly home, we get married, get our photography back, listing gets live right after the wedding. So
let's go.
There's always a bit of chaos.
Always. But there's the beauty in the chaos. It's only chaos until we put order to it, right? It's only chaos because it's new. And so, but once we put order to it, it's no longer chaos.
And again, you focus on that goal and staying focused on your North Star goal. And it's like, for us, a wedding is just a day, but our real estate portfolio is our foundation for our life, right? And so we kind of tried to, people are like, I can't believe you would do that. Did some of the details of the wedding, not go perfectly? Were the wrong cups put on the table? Yeah, there were some little details, but at the end of the day, we got our asset live and now it's been making a profit from the first month, from day one. And so so glad that we made that shift. And again, dealt with a little bit of the chaos to stay on track.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell, and I'm prepping myself to go into my next question, right? But I can tell that you and your husband is going to do well in marriage, just like how y'all going to do well in business, right? And I'll tell you why. I heard somebody recently say, when you, as married people, instead of fighting each other, you fight the problem. It's not us against each other. It's us against the problem.
Yeah.
And when I heard all the adversities that you faced, it was like, no, babe, this is us against the problem.
100%.
And with your husband, you and your husband making the move to get out of the 9 to 5, the weekend warrior, when y'all made that move, it's like, no, babe, we are focused. We know what the problem is. We know what the goal is. It's us trying to accomplish the goal together. And so
Right.
this prompts me, right, to ask you this conversation because you talked about your husband, you talked about your business partner. And so there's a lot of people, they're listening, they're early on their journey, they're looking to level up. And I think it'll benefit them hearing this when it comes to building relationships and growing your network. What has made the biggest difference for you?
Yeah, I love this question. I think this was something that took me a while to learn, and now I want to like scream it from the rooftops. If there is a goal you're getting after, like you want to retire yourself through short-term rentals, you want to make a profit on your property than you're not currently. Like if there's a goal you're getting after, the most powerful thing you can do is get yourself in the room where that dream is other people's reality. That is the hands down most powerful thing. Like the fact that my husband and I are even on this trajectory to retire ourselves through short-term rentals, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that was possible until I started getting into these rooms. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll probably buy property number 2, maybe 5 years down the line. And it's like, well, no, there's no reason why you can't buy one property every year. Well, that opens your mind starting to realize what's possible. So I think that's the most important advice I can give anyone here, whether it's short-term rentals or flipping or multifamily, investments, whatever kind of real estate goals you have, find a way to get yourself in the room with people who are already doing those things and your dreams are their reality. And it's going to really accelerate reaching your goals.
I love it, man. You can't fake relationships. And so, yeah, I absolutely love, like, I knew this was going to be fun. I knew you was going to drop gems and I appreciate it. So, yeah. So listen, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you or someone wanted to collaborate with you or learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, I would say find us on Instagram at 7 Summers Host Academy is the name of our mentorship. My business partner actually named it that because she started it, came up with the name when her oldest son was 11 or 12. And she's like, oh my gosh, there's only 7 summers left with my child before he grows up and goes off to college and starts his own life. And so you can find us on Instagram at 7 Summers Host Academy. Every single day we push out free knowledge. And then through that page, if you are interested today, I give you a teaser of those 10 steps I took to launch the #1 property in the state of Mississippi. You can repeat this in any state, in any market. That is a guide that we offer through that Instagram account. So if you go follow us over there, you can get the guide. Feel free to shoot me a DM. I'm always happy to chat. And yeah, I would love to talk to anyone that's interested in short-term rentals and growing a profit through their property if they're just breaking even, and then figuring out how the heck to scale and retire themselves from their.
Love it. I love it. Listen, listen, you giving me stuff. You giving me good stuff all the way to the end. I'm dropping notes even as we doing the outro, right? So I appreciate you so much. Listen, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your story. I appreciate your perspective. We definitely need more people like you that's doing things the way that you're doing. So it was an honor to have you on today. So Miss Janel Gallucci, I thank you so much for being here today. I really do.
Thanks, Quentin. This was fun.
Absolutely. And listen, I always say this, y'all, and I say this very slowly. If you got value from this, make sure you're subscribed. You want to make sure you're subscribed. I want that bell going off. I want them alarms going off to let you know when a new episode is dropping, because we have great conversations with great people, just like I had with Miss Janelle today. So again, thank you, Miss Janelle. And for those tuning in, we'll see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.